let's give a warm welcome to Kevin Gallagher, all the way from Burlington.
Everyone's so tall here. That's good. Several years ago, my partner Michael and I decided to do one of those once-in-a-lifetime trips, go to someplace really tropical and beautiful in the winter in New England. So we went to Puerto Rico, and we were looking forward to white sands and beautiful sunsets and crystal blue water, pina coladas, just everything was going to be special. So one of the nights that we were there, we went into Old San Juan for dinner. So Old San Juan is like many Spanish cities or towns, small cities. They used to be cities, now they're just towns, where it has a big plaza in the middle, just a big square. So we get dropped off by the taxi, and it's packed with people, and we're walking around. It's mostly tourist places and restaurants filled with gringos. And so we thought, well, let's kind of walk off the beaten path a little bit and see what other restaurants are off the plaza. And so we had spent the day at the beach, and in hindsight, I realized we were probably a little dehydrated and really hungry. And I wish I had known that then, because I know it now. So for any of you who have ever been in a relationship before, ever, or are currently in one, you know what these nights are like. These nights where you really want to like the person you're with. Like you really want to like them. But they are being such jerks that you just can't stand them. But you don't want to not be able to stand them, but they're just difficult. So this is what happened as we walked off the beaten path in Old San Juan looking for a restaurant. So Michael would find a restaurant and he'd say, oh, this place looks good. And I'd look up and I'd say, look at the menu. And sort of like, they don't have enough fish on the menu. I really want a really good fish dinner tonight. And so then I'd find a place and he'd say, no, it seems like boring there. And so we were annoying each other enough that we weren't even walking together anymore. He's about 20 feet ahead of me. And at one point, this kid actually, comes out and he's asked me a question. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. No habla español, habla inglés, And so he keeps talking to me. Michael realizes I'm not 20 feet behind him anymore. So he turns around and does one of these. And so he starts walking toward me, and he goes, what are you doing? And I said, well, this kid stopped and asked me a question. I think he's looking for directions. And why are you talking to him, Kevin? You don't speak Spanish. At which point the kid pulls out a gun and says, give me your money. So I'm now in a really bad mood, because I'm pissed off at Michael. And I'm thinking, I tried to help this guy, and he wants to rob me. So I said to Michael, oh, great, now he's got a gun, but it's a fake, so don't worry. I said, let's just keep walking toward the plaza. And so the plaza was maybe here to the street. And so we start walking, and so it's Michael and me and my friend. And we're sort of walking as a group. And I'm like, don't pay attention to him, don't pay attention to him. So Michael says to me, he's like, so why did you stop and talk to him? And I said, I didn't really stop and talk to him. He stopped me, and so I was talking to him. And he's like, I know, but I don't understand why you're talking to somebody who doesn't even speak the same language that you speak. And I said, well, you're making this sound like this is my fault. And he said, you think it's mine? He's like, I wasn't even near you when all this happened. So I did feel bad for the kid because sort of like, I think he was hoping we'd be afraid maybe and give him money. But instead, we're just fighting the whole time. So we get to the opening of the plaza and really hundreds of people. And so I said, we'll lose him now. So we round the corner and it's packed sidewalks and it's Michael, me, and my friend. And so we're walking and he's like, well, he's not going anywhere. And I said, I know he's not going anywhere, so we gotta lose him. So we go into a bar, and I said, let's just duck into a bar. So we go into a bar, and it was a local bar, smelled of old beer and cigarettes. It was really dark, and it had that feel of like when you walk into some place and they drag the needle across the record and everyone in the place looks at you. And like two really white gay men, that's not what this bar usually gets for a clientele. So I said, we're better off on the street. So we go back out on the street, we pick up my friend, we walk down to the next bar, and so we go in, and this bartender said, hey amigos, you guys want a couple of margaritas? And I said, that would sure help. So we go up to the bar, we have a margarita, the kid's pacing outside, eventually he sort of left. And then on our second margarita, Michael said to me, he said, how did you know that gun was fake? And I said, oh, you can just kind of tell a fake gun. And he said, have you ever actually seen a gun? And I said, well, no, not in person, but and of course I'm trying to argue with somebody who took hunter safety when he was 10, in Vermont, and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it was safe. So that was another round of arguments. But we ended up that night, after our second margarita, having dinner at Hooters. And there are 3 reasons why we went to Hooters. 1, it was across the street. 2, it was well lit. And 3, we were sort of done making friends that night.